Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process on how to set up the Roku outdoor camera. Right out of the box, you can see we have the camera, and this comes with a mount that has a magnet on it that we can hook our camera to, whether we put this against a wall or up on the ceiling. And then once we secure this into place with the mounting screws, then the camera can go right onto that magnet, and that makes for really easy installation. We're also getting a charging cable, and this is if you have a battery-powered outdoor camera. If you need to charge it up, we have micro USB on this end, USB Type A on the other end. You can plug this into a computer, for instance, USB Type A port. We're just looking to get power so that we can plug that micro USB into the back of our camera. It's hidden under this little door back here, so if we pry this off, we can see that we have an on-off switch back here, but we also have that micro USB right there that we can use to charge up the battery that's in the battery-powered outdoor camera. Additionally, we have our base, which we're going to hook up to our Wi-Fi router, and we need this so that we can hook up to our outdoor camera and give it that Wi-Fi internet signal. And this comes with a power cord as well as an Ethernet cable that we're going to use to plug it into our internet router. So go over and make sure that you have everything that you need for this setup process. And then at this point, we're going to get started with step one. So we need to download the Roku Smart Home app if you have not already done so on your smartphone. You can scan this QR code, or if you're on a Google device, we're going to head on over to the Google Play Store, download and install the Roku Smart Home app, or if you're on an iPhone, you can do this through the App Store. So I'm going to take you over to my phone for this setup process. Now over on my phone, we need to make sure that we have that Roku Smart Home application. I'm on an Android device, so I open up the Google Play Store, search for Roku Smart Home, and then download and install this app. You can also get it through scanning that QR code on the instruction manual. But once we have our Roku Smart Home, if you don't already have a Roku account, you're going to need to create one. Otherwise, you're going to sign in with the Roku account that you want this camera hooked up with. And if you need any help creating a Roku account, I'll have a separate tutorial video linked down in the description if you need help with that. But launching the Roku Smart Home app. Once we're logged into our Roku account, we're now ready to add our device. So what we want to do is click on this little plus icon in the upper left-hand corner, and we're going to add a device. And this is going to be a camera, so we're going to select that option. And first, we're going to set up our base station, and then after that, we're going to set up the camera. So I'm going to select here where it says base station. And now we're going to connect our mobile device to our home internet Wi-Fi network, and we want to make sure that we're connecting our phone to the same internet that we're hooking up our base station to. So on my smartphone, I'm going to drag down the top screen area with my thumb, and that's going to open up the top settings area. I want to make sure that I'm connected up over Wi-Fi through that same internet connection that I'm going to be plugging the base station into. So I can see right here that I'm hooked up to Asus 22. This is my Wi-Fi router that I'm going to be plugging into, so it's all good there. You need to make sure that you're hooked in to the same internet on your phone that you're also hooked into with your base station. So we're going to click Next. So we're going to plug the base station into power and the router. The light will flash blue and then remain solid once it's connected. So I'm going to take you over to my internet router to show you what this looks like. So I have my little base station here ready to go next to my internet Wi-Fi router. So first I'm going to plug it in to power. So this end I'm going to plug in to my extension cord. And then on the back of our base, we can see this little circle right there. That's where we're going to plug the power into. So plugging that in back there. And we can confirm that we now have power with this little light on. So now we're going to hook up to Ethernet, one end going into the back of our base, and the other end is going to be plugged in to my Wi-Fi router. So plugging our Ethernet cord into the back of our base, and then we're going to unwind this. And then the other end, plugging it into the back of my Wi-Fi router. Until I hear that click sound, that means we have officially plugged that Ethernet cable in. And we can confirm that we're trying to hook up to the internet here with this blinking blue light. And eventually, when we get connected up, that blue light will turn solid. So now we're all set up and ready to go with our base. So going back over to the Roku Home app, and that blue light is now solid. So I'm going to check this box and then click Next. And it's going to double check to make sure that everything is connected up successfully. So then after that, it's going to take us over to this next page where we can name our device. Since it's in the living room, I'm just going to simply name it Living Room Base and then click Finish Naming. And it's probably going to need to update the Roku device, so it's going to be updating our Roku device over that internet connection with the latest firmware and features. You can leave this screen and the update will continue in the background. So I'm going to click this little X in the upper right-hand corner. And I can now see in my Roku smart home that I have that living room base set up. So the next thing that we're going to do is set up the camera itself. So we're going to click on this little plus icon in the upper left-hand corner. And we're going to add a device. And again, clicking on cameras. And this is the outdoor camera that I have, so I'm going to click on that. And now we need to flip on the power switch behind the camera. So the status light will turn yellow, and we should keep the camera within 6 feet of the base station during setup. If the light doesn't turn on for whatever reason, then you need to plug in the camera so that it can charge up. But I'll take you back over to the base station for this step. So back over here at the base, we're going to take our camera, and on the back side, we're going to open up this little door back here. And then we're going to flip this switch here to the on position. And once we do that, we should get this light here to turn yellow. And as we continue with this setup process, we're going to leave the camera right here within about 6 feet of the base. Now back over on our phone, we can move on to the next step. So we're going to click Begin Setup. And what we want to do is press the sync button at the bottom of the camera. You'll hear pairing is in progress. Please wait. So I took the camera off of its stand to make this a little bit easier, but we can see we have that little button right here that we want to hold on to for a handful of seconds.
Pairing is in progress. Please wait.
And once we hear that, then we can see that our camera is pairing up with our base.
Wisecam outdoor setup successful.
And that message confirms that this pairing process has been successful. Back over on our phone, that takes us to the next page where we can name our device. I'm going to be putting this by my front door, so I'm going to select the front door option and then click Finish Naming. And once we have successfully set this up, we're going to get a 2-week free trial to Roku Smart Home subscription. If you want additional information on either how to subscribe yourself to a smart home subscription or the features that are included, I'll post links to separate videos down in the description if you'd like to check those out. I do think that the smart home subscription is worth it. It's relatively cheap, and the main thing is that it's going to record motion and sound instantly, and then it stores that video in the cloud for up to 14 days where you can access it for yourself. And if you want to save those videos, you can download those videos onto your device to save them longer than the 2 weeks. But that smart home subscription is going to give you the best features and ownership experience with this device. So I'm going to click here where it says Continue. And again, it's going to go through that updating process to get the latest firmware and features to your Roku outdoor camera. And again, we can leave this screen and the update will continue in the background. So I'm going to exit out. And we can now see that security camera in the homepage of our Roku Smart Home app. It is on, and currently my battery is at 76%. And I recommend charging it up and getting it to 100% full before setting it up outside. But for me, I'm actually going to be hooking up this camera to the little Roku solar panel that you can set up and plug in to a device such as this so that you don't need to recharge that battery. It'll get charge from the solar panel. And I wanted to quickly show you what my setup looks like. So I have the solar panel pointed up towards the sun. The extra wire you can wrap around the base of the solar panel. And then, of course, I have the cord running over to my camera. And with that cord coming over from the solar panel, I wrapped around the extra cord around the base of the camera, plugged it into the back, and then you need to point the camera in the direction that you want it to be recording the video in. So you can look in the Roku app at the camera feed as you're adjusting it, and then you can get an idea of exactly where you want it to be pointed. And this solar panel makes it so I don't have to take this camera down and charge it myself. But when I hooked up this camera, I was at about 75% state of charge. And in the first day of the solar panel charging it, it went up to 90%. And I'm only getting sun for the first half of the day because I have a tree that blocks it in the second half of the day. So with this solar panel, it should keep it charged up well beyond what I need. And then I don't have to take it down ever myself. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a separate video showing you setting up that solar panel and what that looks like. But that's going to wrap up this video. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you back here next time.